Hey, I'm Dee. I've been car camping part-time in my Hyundai Santa Fe for the last 2.5 years. And I want to talk to you about 7 tips or hacks that you can use, especially if you're just starting out car camping, that will make sure you have a comfy, cozy night's sleep. But before we get into that, if you're new around here, no, it's not a normal thing for me to have random wood over here or a pegboard down here. And for those of you who have been around for a while, you probably know or suspect why I might have wood and some pegboard over here. I also picked up some screws, some liquid nails, some color palettes here. And Sky, as you can see, probably has joined me on this trip. So she hasn't been in a video since I hurt my knee. But she is here with me today on this camping trip. You may have guessed it that I will be doing a build out in my Hyundai Santa Fe. This video today will be released on March 1st. And the weekend of the 2nd and the 3rd, I am dedicating that weekend not to a car camping trip, but to a car camping build. So I'm going to use some of these materials that I picked up today at Home Depot to build out this little Hyundai Santa Fe. So stay tuned next week. You will find out all about that. But now let's get into 7 tips or hacks to get some comfortable, cozy sleep in your car camper. So just like your bed at home needs to be conducive to, a comfy, cozy sleeping environment, so does your car camping bed and your car camping sleeping environment. And I don't know why all of a sudden now that I want to record, Sky wants to be all over the place, but it's fine. So my very first tip or hack to make sure you sleep comfy and cozy might surprise you, and that is a location. In order to get a good, comfy, cozy night's sleep, which is very important, whether you're car camping or not, it's always good to get some good sleep. You have to feel like you're in a safe location, and this is especially true if you're new to car camping and maybe you're not at a campground. It's very important that you do feel safe and secure at your sleeping location. So let's say, for example, if you're picking somewhere like a rest stop or a Walmart or, a Cracker Barrel, something that's not, or even stealth car camping on the side of a street somewhere, you have to make sure that the location that you're at, you feel comfortable at. That way you can actually fall asleep and get a good night's sleep. I actually have a video specifically on some tips to make sure you sleep safely. And I always recommend that, especially if you're new to car camping, if you're going to a place that you've never been before, that you've car camped at before, and you're going to be sleeping the night at that location, go there during the day and just kind of check it out. Just kind of scope it out. Make sure it's an environment that you actually want to be in and that you'll feel okay to sleep there. So that is my tip or hack number 1. And the video that I'm specifically talking about, the ways that I make sure I'm safe at night sleeping when I car camp, how I go about finding those locations, I'll put the video link down in the description below. Number 2, your camping platform, it needs to be comfortable for you specifically. So you may want to test out a few things just to make sure you can get your maximum comfort. And it might take a couple different tries to see what you like and what works best for you. Because you'll see some people do air mattresses, some people do, they'll build out a platform and then put maybe a foam mattress on top of that. Some people get the roll-up memory foam pads. Some people just put sleeping bags or comforters or extra blankets underneath them. And just a little tip too, you can store extra blankets in pillowcases. So if you've been researching car camping, you've probably seen other people talk about this, but you can fit sheets, blankets, clothing inside of pillowcases or pillow covers. I'm gonna turn this off here. I'm making some hot cocoa. So personally for me, I just use 2 camping pads. You know, like the camping pads or the foam pads that you maybe put down the floor of your tent, and then put your sleeping bag on top of that. That's what I use, and that's because I prefer a more firm sleeping surface. So that works just fine for me. I also like the camping pads because they provide some form of insulation. So if it's cold outside, you know, I'm not feeling a chill on my back. And then if it's hot outside, it doesn't feel like tremendously hot underneath me. Another thing that you can do is if your rear seats don't fold flat, I'm lucky that mine do, but if yours don't, you can also take a camping pad and cut it to size, right? To fill any gaps. And then you can lay another camping pad over that to kind of firm up any gaps in the surface or any bumps or anything like that. And make sure it's an even sleeping surface. The top part of your body isn't up here, and then the bottom half of your body is down here, and there's like a 1-inch gap there. That can be uncomfortable. And speaking of even surfaces, when you park, try your best to park level, like on an even flat area. That way, you know, again, one part of you is highly elevated while the other part is like kind of sinking down, because you will start, if you're on an incline, you will start to feel like you're kind of like almost like sinking down or falling down a little bit. And me personally, I don't like my feet to be higher than my head when I'm sleeping, but that's just a personal thing. You can also use those extra blankets and things that you put in your pillowcases to kind of help even yourself out. Generally, I back into my car camping spots. That way, during the night, I'm facing, well, the front of the car is facing forward. That way, if I need to get out of there, I can just hop in the front seat and go drive right out. But I like to sleep with my head behind the front row of seats as opposed to my head back here, because I find in my car there is just like a slight incline already. So the next tip or hack is airflow and circulation. So you'll hear most car campers or van lifers, SUV SUV campers pretty much say that they always keep a window or two cracked. I like keeping my 2 rear seat windows cracked, probably about that much. I do use mosquito net window covers. That way, you know, I can still get some fresh air in the car while I'm sleeping. But at the same time, I don't want spiders or mosquitoes and nothing crawling up into my car. Another thing too is you can use a fan, just a rechargeable fan, to kind of keep that airflow and that circulation going, so you don't have like hot, stale, funky air in your vehicle while you're trying to sleep. If you are sensitive to noises when you're trying to fall asleep or when you're sleeping, you can use something like noise canceling earbuds to block out any noise. I know a lot of people also use like those little white noise machines to help drown out other noises like traffic noises, especially if you're at a rest stop or at a location close to a highway or interstate. Those things help drown out the traffic noises. I personally don't use them when I'm solo car camping. I don't mind hearing the traffic noise. I don't mind when it's complete silence either. I can pretty much fall asleep without it bothering me. But I know for some people that may be a thing, so you might want to consider, you know, something to block out that noise. And my 6th tip or hack has to do with your actual bedding. Just like you do at home, you know, you make sure the pillow is right for you. You make sure it's at the proper elevation. You make sure you have comfy blankets and sheets and things like that. You know, you do the same thing for your sticks and bricks bed that you would do for your car camping bed. Make sure you have weather or temperature appropriate blankets and pillows and sheets, you know. Like, for example, if it's 90 degrees outside, I'm not going to use this Sherpa blanket. And I'm not going to use, say, for example, flannel sheets. Instead, I'm going to have probably just stick to this black sheet. I also like to use this because if there's any points in the car windows that people can see through, even though I try to make sure that doesn't happen. But if it does happen, I like putting a black sheet over me. That way if somebody peeks into the car or there's an angle where they can see into the car, hopefully the black sheet will help them not see me. Hopefully. And I know I've talked about that in a few other videos as well. But yeah, so just like you would do at home, you know, if it's summer, you're not going to be in a Sherpa blanket or a heated blanket, you know, you're going to have something lighter. So the same thing applies. I would say it's always good, especially in colder climates, to make sure that you do have extra blankets. And like I said in this video and in previous videos, a good way to store those is in pillowcases. This is just a pillowcase. So I also use this as a pillow when I'm not using the extra blankets that are inside of here. So as you can see, I have a fleece blanket in here. I have another sheet in here. So it really serves three purposes. You have an extra pillow if you're not using the extra blankets. You could have extra blankets, extra sheets, and then you could also use it as a pillow. A lot of times I like to use this as a backrest behind me so I can sit up and have some support. Okay. And my very last tip, the seventh tip or hack, is to make sure you have comfy pajamas, right? Just like you do at home. You know, weather appropriate, comfy pajamas. If it's cold outside, you can sleep in layers. Put on a layer of thermals. And then I like sweatpants and sweatshirts to sleep in at night too when it's cold outside. So I'll do that. In the summertime, I'll just throw on a loose t-shirt or a loose tank top and actually some biker shorts. And that works just fine for me. So yeah, those are my 7 tips or hacks to help you get a comfy, cozy, great night's sleep, especially for those of you who are just starting out car camping or if you're thinking about it. Sometimes we make things too hard on ourselves. You know, whatever you do at home in your sticks and bricks to make you feel comfortable, you can do those similar things in car camping. So if you're new around here, thank you for joining. Thank you for subscribing. If you've been around for a while, thank you for your support and sticking around. The weekend of the 2nd, March 2nd and 3rd, I am going to start the build on the Hyundai Santa Fe. So you can look forward to that video posting. I think it'll be like March 7th or 8th. So basically this video will post on March 1st, Friday. The following Friday will be the first video of the build out of the Hyundai Santa Fe. So stick around, some cool things coming up. Yeah. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. And I will see you soon. Thank you for your support. Say bye-bye, Sky. Sky. Sky, what's wrong? Say bye-bye, Sky. Say bye-bye, Sky. Are you sleepy? Sky, you ready to go night-night? You sleepy girl. Say bye, guys. Bye. I'll see you guys later. She's like, leave me alone. I want to go to bed. Bye.